Hi everybody. It's been at least a couple weeks since I did my last video. I just wanted to say Merry Christmas to everybody and give you guys a review of my experience of my Pebble for the last, let's see, I got it on basically the first day of November. So I've had it for now a month and, a little over a month and a half, almost 2 months. And ride it pretty much every day. I mean, there are days that I don't ride it on the weekends, but otherwise I ride it every time I go anywhere because I don't have a car anymore. This is my garage with where my car used to be parked, and now where this thing gets parked every night. So yeah, I've so far I've not been able to ride it in the snow. There's people have been asking me for that because this is Eugene and it doesn't snow very much. So as soon as I get any snow, of course, I will be happy to get some video in the snow. But at this point, I don't know if I should say I'm not lucky. I don't really want snow, to be honest. Anyway, I wanted to give you some details. I took it out and did some hill climbing today. My son videoed, so you'll see a little bit of shakiness there. It's not quite as professional as I would have liked, but nonetheless, you get a little bit of a picture of what it would be like to climb a really, really steep hill. I have this one that's close to my house, and it's a burly one. Like if you lived in like San Francisco, it would be similar to the kinds of stuff you guys would have to deal with on a regular basis. So if it was me and I lived in San Francisco, I don't think a Pebble would be the way to go. It just doesn't have enough oomph to get up the hills. I was in first gear with my clips on and I was cranking hard, and I was a little concerned I wasn't going to make it. With my son in the back, and he's about 80 pounds, with the motor under power and me pedaling, we really weren't moving. So I dropped him off about halfway up the hill so that he could take a video of me going up and back. And if he was in it, or if I was carrying a load, it would have been, I would have definitely had to stop, take the chain off and drop it to the smallest chain ring, because I currently have it in the middle chain ring, and that would have been the only way that would have worked.
All right, we're going. We're at 29% on the video on the camera.
Make it quick then.
Yeah, we're at 28% now. You really should charge this thing.
I had it fully charged, but then I had it several days, and then it gets slow. How it is, so.
I'm gonna get a quick film of the hill we're going down. You're going down. Now in the credits, Dad, you have to put that I filmed this.
That's fine.
We got a car coming, Dad. A big hill.
No power needed to get down this hill. Come on, no hands.
Oh God, I didn't see that. I didn't get that on camera. Wish I did though. Oh God. It creeps me out. Don't do that. Not the best at hand cams.
See if you can get some shots of me using the hand grips. Handle controls.
Hang on, I've got you.
There's my bump. There's my horn.
Huh.
It's kind of weak, huh?
It is kind of hard.
Kind of loud though, and piercing.
It says low battery.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll get more. We'll get 5%. just wanted to go over a few of the details of the Pebble that I really like. I love the fact that it's enclosed. I love the fact that I don't get cold, and I'm telling you, I am not ever gonna need a heater. I rode in 24-degree temperatures the other day. I was wearing a sweater, and I had a scarf on because I have the windows wide open. Otherwise, I get too hot. And I actually have a fan, a little USB fan that a buddy of mine gave me to use on this thing. I'll show it to you right here. It's really handy because I leave it plugged in all the time because the USB ports aren't actually powered until the Pebble gets turned on. So I just leave it plugged in all the time. I have it up there. It kind of faces, kind of not directly towards me, but kind of to the right. And it basically just keeps it so that as I'm breathing, my hot breath isn't hitting the windshield. It's just getting blown right out the windows. So I don't really have a heating, fogging problem anymore. And it keeps me cooler because I get really hot in there as I'm cranking going down the road. So I love that. I love this tailgate. I just think this tailgate is the coolest thing ever. I love that it opens up and gives me shelter from the water. I wish that it has this cool little rubber piece here so that as it's closed, it doesn't really leak. And the other day I had this thing sitting out in pretty much a torrential downpour because it was just coming down hard the other day. And it was really super windy because we had a really big storm that day. And so I wasn't able to use my cover because my cover literally was coming off. Somebody, came into my office and said, "Is that yours? And if so, your cover's coming off." And I went out and pulled it off and wasn't able to leave it covered up because it just kept, coming off of there. It doesn't fit real tight. It's made for a much squarer vehicle. So it's what it is. It works most of the time. Anyway, so it was in full-on downpour, and as a result of that downpour, there was a little bit of water pooling right in here because it was dripping in. So what I was going to say is I wish there was some sort of a gutter here, like a rain gutter or something. I don't know if they'll ever do that because every time I open this up, if it's been raining and there's water beaded up, it just runs in and just pools right down onto that thing. And thank God it's made of vinyl. If it was cloth or something else, it would just get sopping wet. And some water had run down as a result of all that water coming in. It had kind of run down into this area right down here and then ended up underneath in the actual cargo storage area. And I love the cargo storage area. I mean, look at all that. I have so much space in there. It's ridiculous, and I love it. I mean, I could definitely go grocery shopping to town with this thing. And I really haven't much. I mean, my wife does most of the shopping. This is really my get to work and back car, and it works great for that. And I've ridden my upright bike a few times and since, and I'm telling you, going up and down bridges and over hills and stuff, my road bike, it just makes it so easy. It's not even funny. This thing's great. But if you're trying to get this because you don't like to pedal, I wouldn't recommend it. I use it because, to me, living in this climate and having to carry groceries or my son around or whatever, it's just awesome for that. Awesome. I've done a couple, errands, run all the way across town, get some tools, picked up some stuff at a hardware store, stuff that would be a big of a hassle. And honestly, I wouldn't bring my road bike to those types of stores because I'm not going to leave a $5,000 road bike laying outside, even locked up. It's just too much of a temptation. Super easy to steal. Just anybody that wants to can cut a lock. I mean, even a U-lock, they're not that sturdy. And a $5,000 bike that's a real unique looking bike like mine, it's just too much of a temptation for the thieves around here. This thing looks like a car, and most people that see it just think, wow, that's a weird looking car. They don't really think that it's a bike. And it doesn't even occur to them that it's something that they should even try to steal. It looks so unique. I mean, maybe once there's 10 of them around here or 15 of them around here, then maybe I'll have some cause to worry. But people all the time tell me, hey, I saw this thing that looks kind of like that thing that I think you have. And I'm like, no, that was me. It was me, because there's only one, and it's mine. A friend of mine saw me at, apparently saw my Pebble at Red Robin last weekend, because I went there to pick up burgers. So I went to, for instance, I just rode over to Red Robin and did the pickup thing, picked up some burgers for the family, you know, stashed them behind the seat in the storage compartment, and rode them home. Piece of cake. And so much easier to go over to the mall right now with the heavy traffic via the bike lane, instead of trying to go through just the insane car lanes that are going on with the Christmas season and everything. So, you know, braking is great. I love the drum brakes on the front. They work really good. They're not grippy, but I think that'll actually really help me once the snow starts coming down, once the icy stuff starts coming down. The disc brake is not real durable, or not durable, but it's not real grippy. I'm used to hydraulic discs, and frankly, I'm probably going to swap it out to a hydraulic eventually. I like the grippiness of hydraulic discs, and they're just so much more powerful, so I'll probably swap it out at some point, but I'll just use this one until it kind of gives up the ghost probably. But at this point, I'm not super happy with it. I do like its adjustability, but I feel like if I had a hydraulic, I wouldn't need to adjust it, because I'd get it dialed in and it would be super bomber. Let's see, the body has been great. It's super sturdy. Ever since I did the repair, I haven't had to worry about any issues. Since I did the repair on the rear end, even today I accidentally hit this huge bump that I didn't even realize was there. And it made this big loud noise because, of course, you know, big bump. And my son was sitting in the back, and he was like, wow, that was a big bump. But he didn't say ow or anything, because the suspension just works so good on this thing. Let's see, what else? The lights, you've seen in my videos, the lights are just amazing. At night, this thing just it's glowing. I mean, I've had a couple problems with people not seeing me, but they're just idiots, you know, car idiots that are, I don't know, pay attention to other stuff, probably looking at their phone or the radio or whatever. The tires definitely get the upgrade. I've been super happy with the big sturdy tires. I don't think I would want to go with the other ones. And besides that, it's not just a tire thing. You're paying for the upgrade. You're really paying for those rims. The rims that are on this right now, these super sturdy MTX rims, they're basically the same kind of rims that downhillers use that go like North Shore riding and bombing off 10-foot drops. Same rims. So you know they're friggin' bomber. I'm probably hardly ever going to have this thing trued up wheel-wise, even though I'm hitting big, huge potholes all the time. And the thing weighs, with me in it, like 400 pounds. So it's taken a beating, and you want the sturdiest rim possible for that. And 36-hole spokes, or 36-hole rims with 36 heavy-duty spokes and heavy-duty rims and hubs, it should be sturdy. I mean, with a 24-inch especially, it's going to be super sturdy. I've had to align this a little bit. I don't know if it was out a little bit when I got it, or if it got out as a result of all the, you know, bumps and things that I've hit. But the alignment was super easy. You just pop the dash off. You can see the tie rods right there, and you literally just loosen them up and you know, twist them. I mean, you can just twist them by hand, and you can see the wheel just, you know, turning. And you just want to have them be like 1/8 of an inch closer in the front than they are in the back, so that it's towed in just slightly. And once I did that, the thing got so much faster. It goes straighter, faster, it glides longer. So I'm fairly certain it was out a little bit. And I still think it might be out just a tiny bit. Like, it seems to veer left ever so slightly as I'm going like down a path where I know it's flat and level. So I'd like to tweak that at some point, but it's kind of like, good enough. You know, I'm learning all this as I go.